morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel where we're about that breaking cycles life. I hope you guys are good, and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. So today we're going to the book of 2 Samuel, and it is chapter 6. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with this story, but if you're not, today you will be. And when I first heard of this story, guys, I was a bit puzzled. But after a while, I started to understand, okay, these things are actually important for us as Christians to learn on this journey of Christianity, right? So I'm going to read, and I'm going to read 11 verses. So it's 2 Samuel 6, verses 1 to 11, okay? And it says, "Again David gathered all the choice men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people who were with him from Baale, Judah, to bring up from there the ark of God, whose name is called by the name the Lord of hosts, who dwells between the cherubim. So they set the ark of God on a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drove the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill, accompanying the ark of God. And Ahio went before the ark. Then David and all the house of Israel played music before the Lord on all kinds of instruments of fir wood, on harps, on stringed instruments, on tambourines and sistrums, and on cymbals. And when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled. Then the anger of the Lord was aroused against Uzzah, and God struck him there for his arrow, and he died there by the ark of God. And David became angry because the Lord's outbreak against Uzzah, and he called the name of the place Perez Uzzah to this day. David was afraid of the Lord that day, and he said, "How can the ark of the Lord come to me?" So David would not move the ark of the Lord with him into the city of David, but David took it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. So guys, it's a bit puzzling, as in he was trying to help God, right? Why did God kill him? And that was the first thing that came to my mind when I first read this story. I was like, what? What's happening here? God, Daddy, what? Why? And I asked many people, but eventually, after reading it a few times over the years, I actually got a better understanding of it. And there are 2 points that I'd really like to bring out of it. And the first one is, we ought to trust God that we don't need to help him to do anything, because he knows the future and he already knows what it is that he wants for our lives. And if he is God, if he is sovereign, if he is omnipotent, like, guys, he's omnipresent, omnipotent. He is everything that we could ever desire in a God, right? He's the one who created us. He already knew that the ark was going to stumble. Uzzah needed not to help him, right? And the second one is obedience. Obedience, guys, obedience. And it actually ties to the first point, which is trust in God. Because if he trusted in God, he would have remembered that he was supposed to be obedient to the fact that no one should touch the ark of God, because it is God and we are sinful beings, and we cannot enter into the presence of God with our sins, right? So those are the 2 points that I really wanted to take out of it. So trusting God, guys. Guys, I know I'm not the only one that when things look like they're a bit shaky in your life, especially, let me even use I don't know how, no, of course I'm not dead, but he loves me that much that he did not make me die, and he has a purpose for my life, right? But let me tell you who is most like Uzzah, right? It's this girl right here, wanting to help God with her own life, right? And it reminds me of when I was coming to, when I was applying for medicine, and that 2 years, those 2 years, guys, of those 2 years of preparation that God had me in for applying to medicine. I I went and I was like, okay, let me go and do my MBA because I'm not staying in this country. I was trying to help God, I'm like, God, um, thanks for the experience, the couple months, probably just 2 months, the experience of China, you know. I think this is the best way, and it looks like it's stumbling, so I don't think this is what you want for me. Let me help you out here. So I went and studied for my MBA, right? And entrance exam to get accepted. God put his hand in it, rejected me in every single application for every school that I applied to, right? And then he also said, like, I'm like, okay, these schools, they're not accepting me. He only told me to go to one school, guys. Let's get this clear. He only told me to go to one school, and this was this school that he said, Shanique, I need you to come to Nanjing Medical University. And I was like, but they're not answering. Let me help you out a bit. Yes, I'm like Uzzah, right? Not trusting that God will fulfill his promise to me, right? I was like, maybe I need to do physics and advanced biology, since I already did chemistry. And he's like, no, you don't need to do it. Literally, I prayed, he answered me, no, don't do it. I'm like, maybe that's not God. And I started to apply for physics course, could not apply. That's a whole different story. My friends were so scared, like myself, when that was happening, because he literally put his hand on my computer and was like, no. I was like, okay, what's happening here? And the same thing for the biology course. I was like, okay. So I was not exercising trust in God in those moments, guys, because I wanted to help God with my future. And I was there thinking, oh, maybe this is not happening because this is happening, and I don't have this, I don't have that. Thinking only in my human perspective and not trusting that God already knew the future, and he was the one that is guiding me, and all I needed to do was trust him and leave it alone, right? And the second point is obedience. And because of the lack of trust that I had in God in those moments, guys, I went ahead and started to disobey him when he specifically said to me, go to this school. I applied to many other schools saying, okay, let me go here. I disobeyed God. I disobeyed God. And I also disobeyed him in wanting to go and apply for physics and advanced biology when he specifically told me no. So in those moments, guys, I can just imagine how angry he was at the fact that, Shanique, I told you, don't do this. Just trust that I have your life in my hands and I am going to guide you. Just trust me, Shanique. Just trust me. And guys, I'm telling you, this man has a lot of patience with me, okay? Because I am not necessarily, the easiest, right? And guys, how many of us are like this? Are like Uzzah and Shanique, right? When God tells us something, we want to do everything to help him. He doesn't need our help. And it's so sad that Uzzah had to die here. But we also have to remember we are sinful beings, and we can't just be touching the ark of God like that, or we can't just enter into the presence of God like that, guys. This is the reason why he sent his son to die for us, so that we could be fireproof. I told you guys in the other video, guys, so that God is a consuming fire, and it's his love that is like a burning flame. And we as sinful beings, we can't just enter into the presence of God. And that is supposed to teach us that he gave us his rules, he gave us his son, that we should believe in him, and if we love God, we keep his commandments, right? If we love him, if we believe in God, that is we allowing Jesus to make us fireproof so that we can spend eternity with God, right? It's not just, oh, I believe and I'm saved. If you read the Bible from front to back, guys, it's a matter of sanctification, and we ought to be constantly submitting ourselves to God daily, right? Daily, so that he can cleanse us and make us fireproof. And we can't just be happy and in the happiness and see that, okay, something may be going wrong here, that we lose faith in God, we lose trust in God, and we try to help him. And that's exactly what happened, because even the high priest did not touch the ark of God, right? But he was the only one that could get that close to the ark of God, because the ark of God represents God in his entirety, right? And we ought to reverence the presence of God, right? And to know that, okay, yes, he's our friend, he's our father, he's everything to us, but still, he is our God. And we ought to respect him, and we ought to realize that he's holy, and we need to act accordingly, right, guys? So for today and going on in our lives, guys, let's be reminded of, well, these 3 tips that we ought to trust God with our future. If he says he's going to do something for you, if he made a promise to you, trust him. I'll pray for you while you pray for me, okay? I'm just saying, guys, because it's not easy. As I told you guys in previous videos, I'm not one to make a promise, right? I just do what I need to do. But God is a promise keeper, right? Promise maker and promise keeper. And I'm learning to trust that he will keep his promises. He has already kept promises with me. And I have to be constantly reminding myself, okay, if he did that, he will do the others. If he did that, he will do the others. If he did that, Shanique, he will do the others. He's not a God that lies. He's not a God that lies. And even though the ark may be stumbling, I don't need to help God. He already knows the future, and he already planned how to save the situation and make things work out for my good, right? So if he did it before Shanique, he'll do it again. If he did it before Bob, he'll do it again. If he did it before Sarah, he'll do it again, okay? So that's just the reminder today. And in trusting God, we will not have to end up disobeying God by trying to do things our own way and not going according to what he told us to do. And we are constantly reminded of his holiness, and that we should treat him accordingly with the utmost respect, the utmost reverence. And yeah, just be reminded of that today, guys. And I hope you guys have a great day and be blessed. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's encouragement, and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. Now do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe button if you are new, so that we can get more of this positive Christian content out into the world, okay? And I'll link my daily devotional playlist right here and my Let's Talk playlist if you want to tackle some social issues, okay? So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.